I really don't know how to start this video. I have something in mind I want to say, but I don't know how to lead into it. I'll just start saying it. I was in cleaning off my shelves in my office today, and I was going to make an area where I can film inside because some days, it's even more so in the summer than winter here, it seems, outside is brutal with the heat and my allergies. So I thought I'd make an area that I can film indoors. I might do some, cooking of the vegetables and things like that indoors. So I was cleaning out some stuff, and I thought, well, I need to make an area in my little nook where I am and where I do my art. And I started thinking of all the things I have on the shelf, knickknacks, little things that mean only something to me. And it's funny how we as humans keep these things, and they would be worth nothing to anybody else. If I'm gone, my kids won't know what to do with that. I mean, it's just a thing, right? But to me, I started thinking, well, why do we hold on to these things? And I think that one of the reasons is we hold on to these mementos because we feel if we don't have them anymore, we might forget that memory. Not only that, holding on to that item brings you back better than just a memory can, because memories kind of fade. I just wanted to show you a few items that I have that mean nothing to you either, but they'll kind of show the reference to what I'm talking about. This is an old fly box, and I was really into hunting and fishing when I was young. My dad was a hunter and a fisherman, and I kind of, got that from him. And this was one of the first little fly boxes I bought. I've had this since the 70s. Some of these flies in here, they're worthless, but to anybody else, but they're probably 50 years old, 40 years old or more anyway. And I can open this up, and it's the same way it looked when I opened it up when I was, 20 years old. And it's just lasted that long. I just held on to this. And having it, every time I open it up and see the colors of those flies, it reminds me of certain fishing trips where I was. That's just a silly thing. It's silly to most people, and this is on eBay or something. This is kind of a vintage little fly box. It's maybe worth, it's dented, and it's worth, if it was in mint condition, it might be worth $50 or something, but this is my dad took me duck hunting for the first time when I was 13 years old, and he gave me this book. He picked one up. This was the exact booklet, and put me in the duck blind, sat me down. I didn't know anything about ducks, but I was fascinated with all of their colors and how each one was so uniquely feathered and colored. I thought that was just amazing. And I remember sitting that blind and the sun was rising, and my dad was drinking coffee and wondering, thumbing through this book, what would I see? What would we get? And I wasn't even hunting at the time, but my dad was shooting a few ducks and bringing them into the blind. I remember referring to this silly little reference book and looking at the ducks and their wings and all the different features on them and trying to identify them in this book. It means nothing to anybody else, doesn't mean anything to you, but this brings back that memory of being 13 years old with my dad in the duck blind. My dad died, 15 years ago, but this brings that moment back to me. And this other memento I have, I ended up doing taxidermy for a while, and I had a shop, and I inherited a shop from an old man who I was served as his apprentice for a while, and he did everything old school, and he had his old shop, and he had things that had been left there for years and years of doing 50 years worth of taxidermy. Customers leave things and they forget things, and he had this little storage shed place back there inside where he kept a lot of these antlers and things like that people didn't pick up. And I had a guy that would come into my shop all the time. I was down near downtown Denver, and people would get off work at the end of the day, and instead of fighting rush hour, if they knew about me, sometimes they were customers, sometimes they were just people that knew about the shop and were my mentors, old customers. They would stop in to waste some time during rush hour, and they would come in and nose around and see what new stuff was in there and stuff. I had an Indian, a Native American, come in, and he would come in. He worked on the high rises, construction, and he would come in, and I would usually, he wanted things for his dances and stuff. He was a sun dancer, apparently, and I was annoyed by him sometimes because I was busy, and he would come in a lot, and he'd usually want something, and without really paying for it. He didn't, have the money at the time or whatever, but I would always give him something. I wasn't annoyed outwardly, but inwardly it's like, oh, it's Reuben again. His name was Reuben, and he came in, and I gave him stuff. I'd give him a mink hide I had or something, or some deer leather or something like that. And he would thank me, but he would leave. And one day I had a bear hide, and I just decided to be kind and give it to him because it was taking up room. It was an old bear hide that was so old the tan was starting to rot. Rot meaning it would just tear real easy. It was already tan, but it was but it had the claws and everything on it. And I said, you can have this, and he was really appreciative. So he took that bear with him, and I didn't hear from him for a long time. I didn't see Reuben for a long time. And then one day he came in, and he said, I want to gift you something. And he handed me this necklace that he made. And he made it from the claws from that bear hide that I gave him. And he told me the story of a lot of these beads that were handed down from his great-great-great-grandparents. And I wish I could remember which tribe they were from. Some of these are cheap beads, but some of these rose hip beads, I think he called them. He said they were quite old. I don't know if you can see that, if they come into focus or not. And anyway, he made this. I can't put my head on. He made me this. And I guess the lesson for this video is sometimes an act of kindness comes back. I don't remember seeing him much after he gave me this necklace. He was an older guy. But just a little story about mementos, saving things, and an act of kindness giving to this gentleman, and he ended up giving back, and something I cherish. It's pretty cool thing to have. So I hope you like this video. Quite different than what I normally do, but right now the garden is just kind of at a point where it's hot, and I don't want to be out in it during the day. That's just being honest. It's hot. We're in the 90s stretch all through this week. It's going to be near 100 over the weekend, and it's that kind of time of year when seems like the garden can kind of slow down and kind of stall, and the weeds pick up and go fast. Just the way it is here. So I'm going to talk some more. I have some things in mind, but quite honestly, I haven't been wanting to get outside during the day very much. So anyway, I just thought this was I'd touch on this little story, and hope it wasn't too far off my norm. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back. If you did like it, subscribe and give me a thumbs up. I'd sure appreciate it. Would help my channel. My name's Dennis. Take care. Bye.